Network podcast, episode 6 or episode 5. I'm not sure. I have to check. We were editing some videos, but I'm here with Robert Sylvain.
Robert Sylvain.
And he's an incredible artist that I met just this weekend at Wynwood.
Oh, Wynwood.
Yeah, you came up to the booth and you're like, oh wow,
Oh,
you like
cool.
the colors.
Yeah, particularly the
shapes.
one work that your dad did, and the black and white, a very small piece.
Oh, the little one, it kind of
Yes.
looks like a ghost.
Yeah,
kinda. Cool.
yes,
Yeah, a
that's
lot of
cool.
people like that one.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's cool. Yeah, it has a little similar colors,
Yeah, the mystery,
shapes.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you invited me here to your studio. We're live in his studio in Kendall. It's a art house.
Yeah,
Art house. And so you showed me a really cool painting from when you were 13 years old.
Yes.
13, you said?
About 12 when I started. Yeah.
So
my
you've been
first piece.
So you've been painting since you were 12?
Since I was 12, my very first piece, and I had few. I was exposed to different like ceramic and photography and things like that.
Okay, so you were kind of doing a bunch of different
Yeah.
creative things.
That really reinforced my artistic values.
And this is in your home country when you were doing this?
At home, I stopped painting at home, and
This is in Haiti?
in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And then I moved here. I went to New York. I was 21.
Oh wow! So you didn't come to Miami. You went to New York.
No, I went to New York. And that's
Wow.
where everybody was going at the time. I could go to New York. My brothers were there. So I went to New York, and I went to New York Institute of Photography, where I took commercial photography, and because I wanted to work for the news and be out, because I used to do that in Haiti as a kid.
As a kid, you take pictures.
Take
and
pictures when they have
sell it to the newspaper.
Not really, but I used to share it with friends and make an album. Because at the time when I grew up in Haiti, there was no such. I mean, we had the news, but the photography, like government, it was not well established. So I was attracted when they have like the president is going somewhere and I'm there with my short pants and go and take pictures.
Cool.
You know, and sometimes I would add, I remember there was inauguration by the palace, and that had never happened, I guess. And then I went as a kid and asked whoever was cutting the ribbon to pose together, and they look at me like very funny. And I took pictures of them.
What kind of camera was it?
It was
was it big? Was it?
No, it was a small Kodak camera that you put, I don't know exactly what it was, I cannot tell you, but you had to lift it, put the roll of film, black and white.
Okay.
And then
Did it have a flash?
No, there was no flash.
There was
It
no
was
flash?
mostly daytime, you know.
Okay.
And we had the sun.
Oh, that's
over
right.
there.
That's right.
So all my pictures were during the day and, the activities. And that was a good beginning.
A good beginning.
So that reinforced my ambition to go to New York and go to New York Institute of Photography. And I went there, and it was a great experience because, they sent us to the street in Manhattan. I mean, the school was across from the Empire State Building. And then we had classes where you go outside and take some shots.
Wow.
And that's where they teach you how to balance your pictures and, to...
Use lighting and
Exactly.
angles and perception and everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a lot of fun because to me, New York was, it's not like home. There was so much activity on the sidewalk.
Wow. I mean, how did you feel first arriving there? Was it like just overwhelming? Or did you already know a little bit about it?
Well, my dad, in my time, you don't travel for vacation.
No.
There wasn't such thing. It was a big deal when people traveled.
Yeah.
So when I left, I was eager to go there, but I had different pictures of the place. I think everything was, you were on the moon.
You think everything's dandy and
Yes.
beautiful, right?
So I went there and I went to Brooklyn, but my first thing was to go to Harlem.
Where?
To Harlem.
Holland?
No, Harlem.
Oh, Harlem. You want to
Yes.
go to Harlem. Okay.
Yeah, so
But you were
somehow-
living in Brooklyn.
I was living in Brooklyn, but I was attracted to go there because of they told me such a tough place to be.
Of course, yeah.
But the music and this and that, all the
culture
culture
and everything
that was
in
there,
Harlem,
and I
okay.
wanted to go there. So after I guess a
What
week or
year?
two,
What years was this? Was this
1969.
wow? So this is like
That was a great
the end of the
year.
'60s.
Yes, there was the Vietnam War going on. There was a lot of
Wow.
march, and you go there.
Cool. So you're in New York during all of this.
Yes, that's in Central Park. They had on Sundays. You had the hippies on one side, the black movement in one side, and it was pretty exciting because we
Wow.
were not exposed to that at home because we
No.
had dictatorship at home. So
Yeah.
there wasn't such
No.
a thing as manifestation.
Who are all these like crazy people
It was different.
getting together?
Yeah,
and-
there was
yeah.
a sense of freedom and things, you know, and that we're not used to. And the environment was different. So it was a very great experience for me.
And so this whole time you're not painting.
No, I was going to, I
You're
was
just
thinking photography.
So
Photography.
were your goals to continue and have
In
a
photography.
career in
In
photography?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
When did you
Well,
kind of switch or
I had to leave New York after a while because the winter was not too friendly.
you're an island boy and
You know,
in the
one
coldest.
winter was enough for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fun. I
You were
mean,
only there for one winter?
1 year, yeah, 1 year. And I knew I wasn't going to be there longer.
So you came here.
I came to Florida. I left because I said next year is not going to, 1971, I wasn't going to be up there. So on New Year's Eve, it was on 9 o'clock. And then I went to LaGuardia Airport, catch a plane, and come to Miami. I didn't
By
know
yourself?
where. Yes, I didn't know where I was gonna go, but I knew I wasn't gonna stay in New York for the 1st of January.
Did you have like any other friends or family that were in Florida?
There was one friend I didn't know where he was, so I
just
don't know.
came here,
I
huh?
just jumped in the plane, and then fortunately I met this gentleman, Robert. I forgot his last name, and he was a mechanic for Eastern Airline. And then he just happened to sit by me. It was a 9 o'clock flight, and then I asked him if he lives in Florida. He said, "No, I'm going to a party in Florida."
He was
And
just
I'm
going
talking-
to a party?
Yeah, and that was New Year's, that was 31st
Oh, okay.
of December, but it was like 9 o'clock. Within a few hours, it's going to be 1971, New
Yes.
Year's. So he said he's going to a New Year's party. And I said, well, I'm moving to Florida. And I never been to Miami. And I said, I'm moving to Miami and I never been there. He said, well, you want to come to the party? I said, yeah, so.
So right when you
I
got
tell
here,
you, and I landed in Miami at Miami International Airport, and I realized there was no need for coat or gloves. I said, yeah,
This is
that's what
good.
I'm looking for. And effectively, I went to the party with him, which was on 36th Street, close to the airport. He was a mechanic for Eastern, so there was a bunch of employees, flight attendants from Eastern having the party. And I ended up there. So the flight was about 2 hours.
was it a good party?
It was the best party I ever had. I mean, that was a welcome party for me. You know? I mean, 2 hours, the flight is about 2 hours and a half, so we landed at 11:30. By the time we get to the airport, the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it was midnight. So it's New Year. So Happy New Year.
Cool.
So
new place, new year.
I didn't know anybody there.
Yeah.
So I went with my suitcase and they welcomed me and he just introduced me. This is Robert, my friend from New York, moving to Florida.
Yeah.
That's it. You know?
Cool.
So he let me there. So it was like 12 when we got there, a few minutes before 12 o'clock. So it was a Happy New Year's party. And by 2 o'clock, I had a girlfriend. I mean, the spirit was
Cool.
great. I said, this is a great move.
So now you got a place to stay.
Well, no, I spent the night there.
Oh, okay.
And the next morning, the first question was, well, Robert, where are you going? You know?
Yeah.
So I went to a hotel on 36th Street.
So was that your plan to come here, like get
To
a
go to
hotel
school.
for a little bit, find a job?
I didn't know what
or
to do. No, I had enough. I saved enough in
To
New York
hold you over.
to be, to know that I didn't have to rush because I had to find
Smart.
a place and everything. So I went to a hotel and then I called my brothers in New York and I told them, Happy New Year. They said, oh, you didn't come home last night? I said, no, I didn't come last night. And I'm not coming tonight.
Wow.
And I'm not coming.
So you had two brothers
In New York.
In New York.
So
Were they older than you?
older by a year. One by 2, the other one by 1 year.
Oh, so not that much older.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they were in New York before me, so I was there under their protection. My father sent me there with my brothers, so I vanished. So they said,
Were
okay.
they worried? Were they like,
of
what the
course
hell
they
are
were,
you
yeah. So I said, well, I'm in Miami. Like, it's just like I was in a different planet,
Yeah.
in my mind. So I wasn't worried about what they think, how they feel, or whatever.
Because you
So,
felt good.
yeah, I mean, I felt that was the right thing for me to do. And so I gave them the number where I was and everything. And then a few hours later, the phone rang, and it was my dad calling. Said, listen, I'm going to be calling New York tonight, and I hope you don't want to answer the phone. And he hung up. And I said, I'm not going to go to New York. And I didn't go. So I went to Miami-Dade. After that, I made some information. I went to my apartment.
So you,
On 27th Avenue in Miami. At the time, that was Miami-Dade North. That was really the main campus. So I went there and I walked to...
where's the North Campus? Is this the same one?
The same one. It's on 27th Avenue.
Yeah.
And like by 25th Street.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
in
yeah. I've driven
Opelika,
by it.
close to Opelika.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's where I went, and I went to an apartment called Nile Garden. And at the time, Miami was not as crowded as it is today.
Small city.
And also at Miami-Dade, you could pay like $200 or $300 per semester.
Yeah, for the whole semester.
Now one class can cost you $300.
Yeah, more.
So I went there and went me an apartment. And
So what did you continue studying photography?
No, I made a big change. So I went to this. I didn't know what I was going to get involved with.
Okay, so
I
your
went to the
passion
school
for photography kind of like fizzled a little
It
bit.
seems like I made a big switch to what I didn't know. And so I went to the program that they have, all the studies they have at Miami-Dade, and I picked mortuary science.
What kind of science?
Mortuary science, to be a mortician.
Oh, okay.
Because the program is
still
2 years.
artistic.
The program is 2 years.
Okay.
And I
you
said,
get a
well,
good
after
job?
2 years, I'm going to go home. I didn't want to take something for 4 years and to wait. I said, the program is 2 years, and then you have your internship for about a year. And then I said, well, and then I'll go home. I'll go back home.
Go home to Haiti?
To Haiti.
Oh.
So
you basically came to the U.S. to study.
yes.
You didn't like plan on coming to just live.
Well, I tell you, at the time when you travel, you go for good. You don't go back. Few people will, but most likely people leave
When they
for
leave
a
their
long
hometown.
time. Yes.
Yes.
So, but when I came here, I realized, well, it crossed my mind to go back home. And I took mortuary science because it was only a 2 years program at Miami-Dade, and then you would work in a funeral home for another year, and then if you want to stay here, you take your license to practice, or you go home and open a funeral home.
Yeah,
That's what I had in mind.
Cool.
And but it just happened that my grandmother on my mom's side did work in a funeral home, but I did not. I realized that
Connect
after.
that, yeah.
So I spent those 2 years there. But you know, the great thing it did, it adds to my work, is the anatomy classes that I had. You know, you learn about
The way the body
the muscle,
functions.
the function, and the layout, the anatomy of it.
Yes.
So if I have to draw your face, I know, because you know we had classes of restoration in case of accident, so we
To
can
the
restore the
face,
face
yeah.
and everything, the makeup, hair, and everything. We had to do everything. So it was a great study for me to that contribute to my knowledge of
Yeah,
drawing and
well,
painting.
Benjamin Franklin, when he was a diplomat in Paris, I don't know the details, but they were like illegally dissecting bodies and studying the anatomy because he was into so many sciences and arts and stuff. So
there was another artist. I have a book. I forgot his name.
Oh, he did
and he
the
was a
same thing?
mortician also.
Oh.
Yes, he was a mortician, and then he was an artist. So, but I never practiced. I went to the Range Funeral Home, you know, and then I stayed there for about maybe a month, and then I canceled, and I went home.
Oh, you
I,
went
I
back
did
to
went
Haiti.
home. I did went home. Tried to
So
set
you
up
didn't
something.
finish.
Oh yeah, I did finish.
Oh, you did
Oh yes.
finish.
Oh yes.
Oh.
I'm a mortician. And
Okay, so you're a mortician and you're in Haiti.
yeah,
And
and I
you're
went to
like-
Haiti, tried to say, well, maybe I would open a funeral home, and then my dad passed away before I went there, so that changed my plans. And I tried to work at the government hospital, the general hospital, at the morgue or whatever. And I realized to meet somebody, to have an interview, and this is such a big headache. You didn't
You're
know
on the
who was in
path to
charge.
becoming an artist.
It wasn't the same thing. No, not at all. So I came back here and I went to FIU and I took public administration.
Wow. You're
So,
Nice.
but all my electives, I took some classes in art, at jewelry making, ceramics, at FIU.
So that was like a hobby or just kind of...
I was always attracted toward, because
Okay.
beside the requirements, all the other classes, you could pick whatever you want. So I took some art
To
classes.
fill some gen ed classes?
Yes.
Okay.
And it worked. And after that, I worked at FIU in the job placement office. For the job placement office. And then I worked with some students in art. I worked for them. There was a lot of artists that sent a request for some student as a helper at the studio. I picked some of them. I picked some of those openings and I went and worked with them. And then after that, I became a flight attendant after my graduation from FIU.
A what?
Actually. A flight attendant.
Oh, a flight attendant.
Flight attendant, yes.
My mom was a flight attendant.
Oh yeah, I worked for National Airline.
National Airline. Did they get bought out or something?
Yeah, they bought by Pan Am.
Pan Am.
But I worked for them for 3 years,
Oh,
from
3
76 to 79.
So you did a lot of traveling.
Oh yes, and that's what allowed me to go to so many museums. I went to the Rembrandt Museum in Amsterdam. I got paid for it.
Of course.
I went to the Louvre so many times, and National Gallery of London. So I was studying at the same time because I had the opportunity. Because I was painting, I was back to painting.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
So
I had
now you're
exhibition.
painting in your spare time?
Yeah, whenever I'm done work, that's what I do. So as a matter of fact, I participated in a how do you call a contest at National Airline as an artist. There were people who had to present different work, and I won both prizes. So that was the beginning of it. So and then I keep traveling, and I went to so many exhibitions overseas. And with my French, because you had to be French qualified to hold the international flight, because they pay more.
Yes.
and you fly less.
Of course.
So French is my original language.
Yeah.
So I had no problem to hold those big,
International
to be
flights.
a privilege. But the flight attendant that had the privilege to keep those routes had high seniority. So I did, and I was flying actually like I was working less than the majority of the flight attendants. So it was a very good experience for me. And then when my first son was born in 1979, and I quit because I feel like I should be at home.
You should be at home, yeah.
It becomes a job actually, because after going to all those museums and all that, there was no initiative for me to keep going.
When you quit being a flight attendant, what were you trying to be a dad and an artist at that point, or what was your plan?
Well, being the dad was not the trouble, because it was more fun with the kid. I didn't really the sense of being a dad, but
yeah,
it was fun. But I felt like I had to be home, so I quit and I went to work at the Vizcaya.
Oh,
I went to apply at the Vizcaya.
Was it a museum at the time? Was it just
it just
was
happened.
someone owning it?
No, the Vizcaya was actually the city of Miami property.
They owned it.
Yes.
For anyone not listening, Vizcaya is a beautiful mansion.
Yes, it
in
was
Coral
a
Gables.
historical monument and
Yeah.
a place, and
Some mega millionaire
built it
it
in a long time ago.
luxurious,
Exactly.
imported bunch of
from Italy and everything.
So Google it if you guys don't know. It's
Yeah.
Vizcaya. V-I-S-Z?
Vizcaya.
Y-A.
Yes.
V-I-Z-C-A-Y.
It's a Spanish word, Vizcaya.
It's beautiful.
So what they did.
So you were working there?
Yes, I worked there. I worked in a studio, But it was such a coincidence. The timing couldn't be better. That's when they started to build the train. They had the project to build the train system in Miami.
Okay.
And at the station of the Vizcaya station, that you can see they have the replica of the statue in the garden of Vizcaya. Like they have the mermaid, they have different sculptures that they have by the ocean, the boat, and all that. So they were making replicas of those statues for the station.
Okay.
So my friend, I have a friend that who used to work at Vizcaya and was in charge of the studio to reproduce those sculptures.
Oh, so there's an on-site studio where...
No, the studio was in Virginia Beach, across from the Seaquarium.
Oh.
Inside.
Oh.
So it's closed during the week, and you have...
With sculptors? Or who?
No, we had to make... They took one model or sample, they brought it over there, and you have to make a replica by creating a mold, and then with cement, and then you cast it.
Wow.
So I learned all that there.
You learned all of that?
Yes.
Wow. So were you assisting? Were you helping?
I was assisting him.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. Yes, it was
For
just
free?
the two of us working there.
For free?
The pay compared to what I was getting at National Airline, it was
Basically
like
for free?
nothing for
Okay.
free. Yes.
But you were learning. You were enjoying it. And...
But the way that I got hired, that's the most important part. Vizcaya was not hiring a sculptor or somebody to help them.
Okay.
It was a program that they had for the Haitian refugees.
Oh, okay.
So you had to go to the place, a government agency called the Joseph Caleb Center, and they were hiring people to be helpers, like, to work in the garden, to clean the trees,
Okay.
But the friend of mine that works there made a request for an assistant, for somebody to help, and that's how I got in there.
Cool.
So I was supposed to go there to clean up.
To just,
not to
do
work in
whatever
the-
they wanted. Yeah.
You know? So, but when
So you
I
got a really cool...
Oh, it was
yeah.
Definitely, it was a great help because
Wow.
when I went to Joseph Caleb Center, they give you an application, but and then I graduated from FIU and this and that, and the guy walked outside. He said, "Where is Robert Sylvain?" So here, he said, "What are you doing here?" I said, He said, "Sir, you have to be a refugee."
That's funny.
So a friend of mine was working at the immigration office, and I had him give me a paper like saying I came. So that's how I got hired there.
Cool.
And I worked for about a year, about 2 years.
On the project? The
on the
project
project.
took that long?
We didn't have to build these things and do some of the work, but we did not have the contract to set those pieces at this Vizcaya station.
No?
Now, somebody else just take them, set them up, and they had the contract. So we worked. We produced the pieces,
And they weren't used?
They were used. They are the one.
Oh, they're there?
At the Vizcaya station.
Wow.
When you're on the train, that's what you look at. But the person that had the artist or whoever, the architect, whoever had the contract to build that, to put those pieces in place as the Vizcaya station, did not make the pieces.
Oh, they didn't make them?
No, they didn't create. They did not cast them. We produced them. But it was a great learning thing. You know what I mean? It was really. And I worked with some of the artists. I worked with Barry at the studio of Barry Massin, and his father, Eugene Massin, was a great artist and professor at University of Miami.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had their studio at in Coconut Grove. And Barry is still here. I think Eugene passed away 3 years ago. But they were very, very helpful also as far as exhibiting.
So were you assisting them also, helping them?
I did some work with them. And also I was exposed to what they're doing. And I had a lot of contact with them as far as I went to different exhibitions. Yes, and things like that. And among some other artists that I worked with.
What advice would you give an artist to go find someone else who is already an artist to look at, to help them? How do you?
It works wherever you can get you can be exposed to other um, artists, other people with ambition to create. It can be musician, it can be writers.
Do a lot of artists look for like people to help them, kind of to teach
Well,
them, or
it's sharing ideas
sharing ideas
and experience.
Yes.
Like I
And
do some
learning
work with, like if you see some of the pieces, it's a mixture of thin
Yeah.
and gesso that I have on my canvas. The texture is very different.
And you mix that with the paint, the gesso and the sand.
The gesso and the sand gives you like a different texture, and you spread it, and then you create the design with whatever tools you have. And I picked that up by working at the Vizcaya, and then at the beach. So I did my very first piece when I mixed the burlap that we use for the cast to make the mold.
Yes.
Actually, and then I was doing my own work on canvas. So I took the burlap, mixed it with the resin that we made for the to make the mold, and I took the sand from the beach and spread it on the canvas, and then I paint over it. That's how the idea developed, and now I did.
A whole series.
A whole series of work now with sand on canvas, and it's a completely different texture. And I'll show you some of them. Like this one over here is one of them, and I made some big one.
This one right here?
That one there.
Grab
you
it.
can feel the texture. Sure.
For the camera.
You can see the texture, and then the way you create the design is some tools like a knife. You can take anything around and make a circle.
Okay.
To create the you can use so many different tools. Like a screen, you can squeeze it on and gives you all the squares on it.
Yeah.
Because it's all wet when you work on it. So it's
Ah.
and actually the finished product you can't plan. You can't imagine what it's going to be until you start painting on it. It's a very great process. So my passage at the Vizcaya gave me that.
Gave you that.
That's what it is.
Yeah, you have a lot of different mediums and
Yeah, I have different
styles.
eras, and then I combine
That's
them.
cool.
Which is great because I create my own subject. I couldn't be a portraitist and those things because I feel the freedom to create and to do things. And
Are you able to? Have you ever been able to paint realistic, or you never?
I
tried?
did few.
It
but
takes a lot of brain power,
It's
right?
a little bit boring to me because my brain is boiling when I work.
Yes, me
And
too.
I'm not in control of. I cannot plan what I'm going to be doing. I don't like to plan things, and that's why every work you could see I can jump from this. But there's the discipline. You can see the evolution of the ability to create.
Yes.
Is there,
Yeah.
And also I can be influenced by certain experience in my life. It can be political, it can be social, it can be anything, and then I could just introduce it in my work, with my own signature.
Yes.
So which is very, to me, it can get better than this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes.
I paint on everything I see. Like, I can show
We're
you.
sitting on some wood chairs.
Wood
you
chairs.
painted. These are.
And I'll show you. I went home, and then we went to the beach, and I found some stone. And to me, I looked at them, and they look so natural and nice. And I made a nice collection of painting on little rock. I think I have one or two in that blue vase over there.
Let me check that out.
And then you'll see some of them. Let me see these. Yeah, so I kind of create 1,000 of them like this, and I sold.
Oh, you made a bunch.
Yes, a lot of them, and I mounted them on a piece of wall of wood and as a base. And then all of them went to Europe, and I sold them to a man from Germany that I went to see them, and they all gone. But the thing is, I don't stop. I mean, I don't keep doing certain things. Like, I did them, they were very successful, and then I move on.
That's good. You go with how you're feeling.
Yes, yes, you know, and I cannot stop. I remember there's a friend of mine. He's an artist, and he paints a lot of young little girls eating a mango or something like that. But you know, that become so much of them, and I called him one day. I said, "Hey,
It becomes commercial.
yes." So I called him. I said,
Where's the
"Listen,"
creativity?
you know, and I told him, I said, "Listen, there is no more mangoes on that tree anymore." So that's a way to tell him, you know, just try to experience other things, you know. But I think it's a privilege for me to be able to multiply, to take any realistic object or ideas and then use it in a different medium.
In your interpretation.
Yes, you know, and it's a great it's that's what my fuel, you know, to be able to explore things and then to present it in my way. You know, it's my own presentation, which is make it unique for me, and that's what pushed me more. But now it becomes a reflex, just to because I don't know what it's gonna be, but I know something is gonna come out.
Something will come
somehow
out looking beautiful.
You know.
And you're working now on a series.
Yes, I'm working on. I have a collection. Like you can see the similarities in colors and movement, and I have actually it's human people's experience in life.
Okay.
You can see I have people in motion in all of my new pieces, and here I call this is like the free spirit in flight.
I love that one. I see her face there. Yeah, that's beautiful.
There's a picture of face, and then the whole movement you see is people in motion.
So you're working on creating this. You mentioned to maybe do like an exhibit. How many pieces do you try to create in total for something like that?
Well, numbers to me is irrelevant.
Okay. But what do you feel comfortable kind of showing? Like, do you want 5? Do you want 10?
No, well, when the idea comes and start to develop, you don't know where it's going to lead you. Beside the quantity, the amount is not my priority.
Okay.
Is the concept that I'm trying to develop and see how far it's going to go. When will you get saturated? Or maybe sometimes another, after a while, you realize you explore enough and it's time to change. To go to. I mean, you feel the change coming.
Okay.
You know, you feel it coming because the very first pieces when I just get started to where I am today is completely. I mean, you can see the evolution, and some of those pieces were done and redone and redone.
Yeah.
And so yes.
So you've covered you've done paintings, covered them, changed them.
Yes.
My father does that a lot.
Oh, it does happen.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah, but sometimes
I know.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes
leave it.
Sometimes it's it makes you feel bad because sometimes you end up erasing completely the piece.
Beautiful piece.
And somebody will say, oh, later on you would be looking at so you can't even tell somebody that, you know, you paint over it. Are you crazy or something?
One day, my dad had a piece. He already put the high gloss finish.
Yeah, signature, everything.
It was done.
Yes.
Boom. I've taken pictures of it. It's beautiful. One day, I get home and he's like, oh, look at this new abstract I did. I was like, oh, cool. Cool. He put it above the fireplace. Like a month goes by, I'm like, I haven't seen that one painting.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And then I was just like, okay, whatever, I haven't seen it. And then one day I'm sitting there on the couch or something and I see the same pattern of the old painting on the side. And I was like,
no, it does happen.
Oh.
It does happen. But sometimes you eliminate. Maybe it happened for a reason.
So it's not just him, it's not just you.
Oh, no.
Artists, that happens to artists.
It does happen. You know, because I don't paint to please a market. I don't paint to please somebody. You know, if I'm not pleased, if some piece I don't feel comfortable, to me, I don't care if somebody wants to buy.
Okay.
I don't paint to sell. I don't paint
you and
for
my
a
dad
living.
would get along.
Exactly. I paint for myself. You know, that's why, like, I would stop. I'm not as the energy I used to have exhibition before, and what I have today is different.
So there was a time where you were very focused on exhibiting.
You have to show your work. Yeah, I mean, you're looking
meeting people.
Exactly. But I think it has its plus also. You know, it has its meaning. But like right now, the time is different. You're on a different level. The work is different. So I'm making a statement now than just painting.
Yeah, I can tell you're very happy with what you're doing now, right?
Yeah, it's my life. You know, it's creation, and then I'm aware of things like it's been things that you sense. Let's say I'm working on a piece, and then in the middle of the night you go and look at your chi, but I've been blind. How come I didn't see that? And then you go and make correction and things like that. But it takes time to get there, you know, and there's a price to pay.
Well, you have 40, 50 years of being creative added up.
Oh, it's been a while because my very first piece, that's why I always keep it close, which is this painting behind me.
What is this one?
That's my very first painting.
I thought the other one was the first. Oh, but no, that's as a child.
Yes.
This is as an adult.
No. These were done about the same time. I had about 4 or 5 pieces that I found, and that one was the first piece I made. And that's
so you're
the only
13?
I was 13. And that's the only one that I have that my father saw and took a picture with me with the painting.
Wow.
And he had the opportunity to see that one. But my mom was more exposed to mine because my dad passed away early. And it just happened there was a camera loaded and they took the picture.
Cool. Do you still have that picture?
Oh, yes.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah, I have a picture with him.
How cool. So this is a very special...
Oh, it is.
So you're painting a masterpiece here at, you know, the most experienced times of your life, and you have your youth one right next to it. Wow, how cool.
You know, that's the beginning. But
there's
that one brought
tremendous
everything.
Talent in that one.
Yeah.
You're just a child. Wow.
Yes, and that was just creativity. I didn't see that place, you know.
Oh, you made that out of your mind.
Oh yes. You know, and
are there rivers in Haiti?
Rivers
that go through the island?
I mean, this is the environment. I painted what I'm used to.
Yes.
But it's just the combination of the birds. But you know, there's a fruit we have which is purple. So
what's the name of it?
It's kaimit.
Kaimit?
Mm-hmm.
Is it in the other Caribbean islands or no? Is it just in Haiti?
I'm pretty sure they probably have it in some
But it's very popular in Haiti?
It is popular. Okay. But you know, it's a purple fruit. But I paint the tree purple.
Yeah. Yes, that's cool.
And to me, that was it. You know, and like this tree here is what they call a flamboyant. It's a flamboyant tree.
Flamboyant tree?
Yeah. And then it gives like red flower, that one here, that's what I had. And carnation I had in mind, and I painted over there by the little track, you know. But my bridge looks like a ladder, you know. You should see it cross over the water, you know.
How cool.
But it's just like that was yesterday when I was, you know, and it was a natural thing to do to me, you know what I mean. I would go to the National Gallery of qu'on appelle, the name was Centre d'Art, Center of the Art, and I used to go there as a kid. And without somebody tell me, or my mom would take me, or it's just like my own
awesome
thing. It was. So I think that, you know, some people are born with it, and fortunately, not all of them will have the opportunity to express
to tap into it.
And my experience is that, like, you know, back home, some people are stuck there, and then with
you got to see the world.
You know, you have to be exposed to other type of
culture
and everything,
experiences.
You know? Yes. So I've been fortunate, you know, really to be a flat art, and that helped me a lot. And then by nature, I venture a lot of things. Like a week after I got to New York and I went to Harlem, to me that was something I had to do, you know. And I tried to have an exhibition at the Harlem Museum, about a few years ago. But their budget did not allow them to. I sent them a letter, but I kept the letter as a souvenir.
Cool.
I tried.
Cool. Yeah.
I tried.
So you will occasionally because a lot of the people listening to this podcast are artists.
Okay.
And so if you're an artist and you have a bunch of work and you have your style and it's good, you're pretty confident. How do you reach out to actual like bigger how do you submit, hey, I want an exhibition of all my work to more? You don't pay them money, right? You just submit your work, your what do you do?
Well, you knock at doors. I knock at so many doors.
Call and
yes, and you send your work, and then because I had the exhibition in Barcelona.
You did an exhibition in Barcelona?
I had an exhibition in Barcelona, and in New York, I had exhibition in New York. I had been exhibition at Miami-Dade, and different places. Like I took opportunity before, for Black History Month, Carrier Day, and there was a movement of women in Miami, and then a Barbara Gilman gallery, and I participated in it, and because of the painting fit the occasion. It's a painting I gave it to my son, which is still keeping in his room, and sometimes people do refer your work, refer you as an artist to some event because it's different. You're different, and then I was very aggressive. I had exhibition. I do some lectures at school. I go to elementary school.
Talk about art.
Talk about art to kids.
So you were just very diligent in networking and
getting
out there.
Yeah, I do. But for the past few years, I've been really indoor. I haven't been out there really. But I participate in one or two group shows with some other artists.
Okay.
But the collection I have, it doesn't send the right message, or people when you take one piece out of the collection and show it. To me, they have to be shown all together.
Okay, so you do have different series and collections.
Oh yes, I have a collection in small pieces that is that are done on sand, and then which is a different because you cannot draw. The finish cannot be like when you paint on canvas. It's a different texture. It's a different process, and then actually the finish is not the same. And I had done a collection with newspaper. It's like a collage.
Oh wow!
It worked out pretty well, and then they gone. And then what I'm working now, the concept is different. It's not. I think it's maybe won't be appealing to everybody. Because some people want a piece to decorate there.
Yeah.
But some people do collect art, which is different. So my work is, to me, it's not to make your house beautiful. It's more than that.
But it'll do that. It'll do that. These are wonderful. And I love how you were explaining to me earlier, to see the piece from 1989, another one that someone had purchased them and then you purchased them back, right? It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Did it feel good?
It's a blessing.
You remember the moment, painting it?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of recaptures.
That was a special corner of where I am today.
Oh, so the ones you actually bought back were kind
collection, of it was a big
transformation
change,
or something?
Yes, in my from what I was doing before.
What artist would that one over there be considered slight cubism or no?
Yes,
or
kind
with
of,
some influence?
Yes.
Who?
Some artists do really influence me at the beginning. And
then you take it and run with it.
And then, I kind of study them and look at the pieces, what they do. And also their expression, the freedom that they have, the lack of fear to express yourself. Because you just do what you think is right for you, where your mind is at.
Yes.
And your choice of colors. There's such a thing. It has to be blue and red and yellow and green. You mix whatever you feel compatible.
To me, it's a form of meditation.
It is because your state of mind do matter in what you create.
Yes.
Because it's not something mechanical that you say, well, it's going to be like you're not an architect.
That's the one nice thing about working on many paintings at once is that. Well, in my case, even if I'm not very feeling creative or motivated, I have so many started that I kind of just know you just go
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
you
flow,
go to them exactly. Yeah.
and then it can kind of like bring you back.
Yeah, yeah, they just suck you in.
Yeah.
And then if you, at one point, you feel like you reach a point where you're gonna be thinking too much. You put it on the side, pull another
Yeah.
one, and then that's
Or
why I work
just
on
start a new one.
Yeah, always start work on 3 or 4 pieces at the same time. Never one piece, you know, and it helps a lot.
And do you ever have an idea of how many hours you'll put in? You don't, right? Because you work on.
You can't. I can't.
That's the one thing. My dad, he will have different pieces that he's working on at the same time.
Okay.
But I think he's able to work on one for like 15, 20 hours straight, and then leave it and go to another. I
Okay.
think he's able to focus on one.
On one.
As where me, I
Well, they are
30
time.
minutes here, 1 hour here.
Well, the thing is, I don't like the struggle. I mean, you
Like-
do struggle, but it's you feel you're in control. But at a certain point in the work, you realize that you kind of saturated.
You overdo it, or
Of doing it, period. Because you there's nothing new. You're just trying to adjust things, and then you push it aside, get something else, and then you work on it. Because, and then you go back to it, and you feel more comfortable, and you get the easy flow as far as, because you're dealing with color, balance, movement. Because I don't like painting that stays still. I like the movement in them.
where the eyes,
Yeah, everything. Yeah,
go
travel.
and look.
Yeah, and like when I have an exhibition, or you go to some exhibition at a gallery, some pieces you see, oh, people just passing, and they keep going.
Yes,
But
you don't,
a lot of
yeah.
pieces, you're gonna stop. You're gonna
Yes.
stop and see things, and then to observe what the artist was thinking, and it may be completely opposite from what the viewer is looking at, depending on his life experience. But sometimes, like some people could buy a painting from me, and a year later they call you and say, "Bob, guess what I saw in the piece today?" You know, they never seen
So
it
this
before.
this has happened to
It
you.
happens a lot of times, you know. It happens a lot of times. But some work, like in this piece right here, the center really detects what the painting is all about. You know, it's the protection of the feathers. You know, like you can see the protection that has behind around the center.
Yeah, it's
You see
beautiful.
the people there and the bulls and stuff like that.
So is this one complete?
Yes, it's done. It is done.
And you mentioned like a cool trick to me that you actually with this one you'll paint it with the like finish, or you'll mix.
Oh yeah, I do that in a lot of those pieces. That the paint, you can mix it with a clear varnish, and then, but not actually the varnish. Actually, it's like
The liquid
the
types?
setting. Yes, I mix
So
it with this. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I would mix it with the glazing, and then it gives you such an easy flow with the paint. And
And are you using mainly oils and
no, I work with acrylic,
Oh.
strictly acrylic.
So how do you? I got a cool spray water bottle.
Oh, okay.
So I like spray it on my acrylics when they start to dry up.
Yeah.
How do you make your acrylics? Do you mix it with like a little water?
Yeah, you mix it with water. Sometimes I mix it with the glaze and the water, and then like right now I create that dripping.
So you'll rarely just paint with the acrylic.
Acrylic,
paint.
yes.
Like you always mix it a little bit with something.
Not all the time. Sometimes I paint it straight to the canvas. If I work with knives or something like that.
Ah.
Yeah.
So
and
you'll
sometimes
do work
brush.
with knives.
Oh yeah, I do work with knives, and then sometimes with the brush you can create a different texture, a different finish. With the brush you work dry on the canvas, without water at all.
And then is this the frame on this piece specifically that you'll be using, or do you just like to paint? Like
No.
how did that painting get in the frame?
Well, it was something else. It was a painting that was already done. It was already done.
Yeah.
But like right now, I tend not to frame my pieces anymore because it becomes a little
lot
bit
of work.
costly, and a lot of money. So
And when buyer buys it, they
They
have
let
the
them
choice
choose the
to
frame.
frame.
But I like to frame my work. You know, like usually when they buy the piece.
So
if
like
it's
this
not
one
framed-
on the left, you would
It's not framed.
ideally like it to be framed.
Oh yeah, I would love. I want them to be framed. You know, but what I'll do if I'm gonna have an exhibit to have them exhibited, I would probably put a floater like this one on them. You
So
know,
a floater is different than a frame.
Yeah, the floater is much easier and less costly.
You can build it yourself. You build
No,
them.
I have my framer that do this for me because
Give or take, ballpark. How much would how big is this piece?
this is about 40 by 36 by 48.
So like
something like
roughly to do
My
that,
price is very
low.
different than
market price, give or take
well,
$100.
You know, when I sell my work, I don't take under consideration the frame.
You don't include
No.
that cost.
No.
Or you just
It falls into category because the painting will definitely
sell more.
sell more.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't.
It's more appealing.
Yes. You know, because I'm not in the frame business. Because somebody might come and say, well, they don't like the frame on it. But that doesn't make
The work
painting
different.
less. You
Yes.
know what I mean? So if you don't want the frame, fine. But, you know, the painting is going to be the same value. You know, the value stays the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main thing I would, you know, is to work, you know, because once you stop going back, takes time to get back to the flow.
Back into the flow.
Yes, you know, so that's why I work all the time. I mean, yeah, sometimes I'm working here and I realize and I check the time. That's why I don't wear watches. I don't want to be on time. You know, it's time to work. It's time to finish.
When you wake up, do you start painting or do you eat?
Well, the way it works, I could get up in the middle of the night, get some water. I'm working on the piece, and sometimes I tend not to turn on the light because if I turn it on, I know it's gonna pull me in. And sometimes I do, and I look at it for 5 minutes. I say, okay, let me just, and you see something, because what happened when you miss the opportunity to do what you see, it may never come back. So.
Okay.
I always, it can be 3 o'clock in the morning, get up and see something. If I get up and come and look at it, before you know it, it's 6 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock. You work for 4 hours. Oh, gee, what I'm gonna do? You know, but I used to work late at night. It was perfect. Like I would work until 6 o'clock in the morning,
And then
the whole night. And but I used to. The thing is, somebody would, and then I go to sleep. So at 7. So somebody will call around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and you sound so in a deep sleep. And they say, wow, you're still in bed? Oh my God. And I used to feel bad at the beginning. And so, gee, I don't want people to think like, you know, that's
You're
all you
just
do,
sleeping.
sleep all day. And then after I say, oh, forget it. But just, yeah, it's a privilege, you know? Because when
I
you
sleep
put
less
3
than
o'clock,
them anyway.
you
Just
know?
sleep from 6
Yeah.
to 11.
But the thing is, sometimes if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you are really
In the
working,
zone.
and I see everybody's sleeping, nobody knows what you're doing.
That is a cool feeling also. There's no distractions.
Oh,
no one's
it's
going to
perfect.
call
Oh,
you.
Yes. No, at the time you're really into the piece. You're not there. You become
You kind of
an
get in that
instrument.
zone.
Yes. You're not yourself. I mean, you become an instrument to a spirit or
Yes,
whatever it is.
yes.
You know, and then the next day you wake up and that's when you can see what you're doing.
Whoa, I was
it's,
possessed last night. What was I doing?
Yeah. So I remember one day I was working and as you said, you're in that zone and I'm there and I said, gee, I'm high. But there is no overdose in it that will kill you. You know?
Yes.
So it's a good feeling.
Yes.
You know, to create, and then that's why I have a good friend who's a musician, and I know it's the same feeling they have, I think, to compose a song and the
Yes.
lyric and the notes and this and that. And I don't, you know, I wish I could play an instrument because to me it's a very difficult thing. But I admire people like musicians. I have
Do you go listen to music?
I have friends musicians. I have quite a few. I have a good friend of mine. She's from Trinidad. She's a piano player. And I have other friends, a guitar player and in New York and here. You know, I have a lot of friends as musicians, but it's amazing. I did. I never done any cover for their album, but I did some cover for writers. And if you see here, I have some books that
Wow,
were
you did the
written.
cover for some book.
Yes. Yeah.
So that did you create it custom or did they just take your
No,
work?
they just pick the work.
And then they paid you a royalty or
Yeah,
kind of?
but you know, we all sometimes are very supportive to some others.
Cool.
But
Oh,
if,
so you
if
were
the penny,
excited they wanted to use your
oh,
work?
definitely,
Cool.
definitely. If the cover of their book is they choose my work, which is because the book itself is send their feelings and
Okay.
their creation, and they
And they
choose my
feel
work.
it expressed through your work.
Yes, and at the end they buy the piece.
Oh, yeah?
They buy the
Cool.
piece. Yeah, because you know they feel
They
connected
want
with
it,
it.
yeah.
Yes,
And
you know.
that's pretty cool to own the
Yeah.
original of
And
the...
they give me a copy of their volume of their
Wow.
work, and then you know.
Did
and
you
then
read
we
the
become
books?
friends. Some of them I have them halfway.
Okay. At least you
Yeah.
attempted.
Yes,
You tried.
yeah, which is good. I don't want them to hear this, but it's good. You know, but it's a good feeling. It's a very good feeling to share. Because sometimes I think we are dealing with the same experience, life experience, as far as creation. You know what we create, and that's why when I work, my radio is always on, always on. You know, because
How do you feel about the commercials on the radio?
well,
Do you just
sometimes
tune
you
them
ignore
out?
it. Yeah, you can't wait. If it lasts too long, you change
The station?
The station. I mean, there are some stations that give you less commercial than I don't need to name them because. But some stations do.
But you tune into the radio. You don't use like a streaming app for music, right?
Maybe I'm the old-fashioned
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Can you? There's this. So YouTube. You obviously know what YouTube is.
yeah.
But they have a version of YouTube which is
Okay.
called YouTube Red,
Okay.
and you pay $10 a month.
Okay.
And so usually, if you play music on YouTube and you turn off your phone,
Okay.
YouTube turns off.
Okay.
But if you pay 10 a month, there's no ads.
Oh, okay.
No ads, and then you can turn your phone off and it keeps playing
Good
music.
music.
So
Yeah,
I
I think-
love YouTube Red.
Yeah, some people came to do some work for me here, and on their phone, and there was music all the
Just
way
straight.
through. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I mean, my kids used to live with me, and then once they moved out, and you know, I miss them for that.
Their technology.
Yeah, the
perks.
technology. You know, it's just like I had that fear of not fear, just like I felt like it's so complicated.
Yeah, no, it is complicated.
But some of them are not, you know, because I had an experience not too long ago, like the GPS. And then I said, oh, no, I don't want to use the GPS because I would call somebody in and, yes, I'm coming to your house. I'm in such and such a street like we used to do a long time ago. And then they would say, well, why don't you use the GPS? I said, no, the GPS will make you don't use your brain and you become dumb and this and that. No, I was just coping out. And I remember there was a party a friend was having for his wife, and they invited me. And then it wasn't too far from my house. But where they live, there is no straight road. It's just like, you know, when you go inside some development, and it's just a lot of circle, and it's I cannot find. You're 25, the next one is 12. I say, oh my God, it's difficult. So what I do, I put my window down, and I'm listening to this. Where the
hear the
music is
party.
coming, and I got it. You know?
Nice. Yeah,
And I
that's
said,
cool.
that's how you get a party. So finally, I get to learn the GPS, and I love it.
Yeah?
Yes.
So you don't use the GPS on your phone? You use the
Oh,
actual
no, I use it on
the
my phone.
Oh,
Yes,
cool.
like when I go out now, I feel more secure. Like the other day, I got lost somewhere in Broward because I'm not too good in Broward. And then I was trying to, I said, "Shoot, GPS, Bob." So boom, when I got it, I said, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was.
It's pretty cool. My car, it just like your iPhone, you can talk to it.
Okay.
In my car, you can just press the button and say like, "Take me
So-
to
so-
UPS," and then on the
okay,
big
just-
screen in the car,
it gives you
it'll
what
show
you
you
want.
all the
Oh, yeah.
UPSs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, things change. Things change a lot.
Yeah, well, hopefully, all these technological advances give people around the world I think that's what's happening. I think more people in
Exposure.
the world are able, well, yeah, exposure, but I think more people are going to be able to be creative.
Definitely.
Like artists is a certain percent of the population.
Okay.
I think that as technology and like say there's eventually one day say there's universal income and then say robots and artificial intelligence are doing a lot of jobs.
Yes.
That'll leave more
People
creative
yeah.
people who produce things.
To do things, yes.
So you can see that small transition now because you know we're in 2018 and this all you've seen everything. I mean, in the 90s, the 2000s, everything.
Things change, yeah.
So just imagine 20, 30 years from now.
I know.
I feel like, and hopefully,
the world is gonna be.
and it's gonna give more value to original, real work compared to content created digitally.
Okay.
So,
yeah, definitely.
so people will be creating on iPads and digital,
yes.
but it'll make original work more valuable.
Yes.
And
definitely.
also it'll make it more popular.
Yeah, and then because they will recognize, people will get the recognition, for their creativity, what they do as far as you say, original work, and that's why even like I was telling you, I like Gicle and all that. Like I rather
Create the original work.
Yes, so to protect my sense of creativity.
Yes.
Because let's say I guess some artists are into the selling, the amount of work that they sell, but one copy, let's say you make few Gicle or whatever, and then some of them will sell. You know what I mean?
Plus, I mean, people can make copies of your work forever. I mean, you can only make your original work for so long.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
the 100 years maximum that we each have on the earth, if we live
that's
that
true.
long,
Yeah.
you only have a certain amount of time to create.
Well, after that,
good works.
I guess it depends on the level because I feel like I still have a lot to create.
Yeah.
So that's why my energy, I push it more into creation and new pieces and then different ideas. And also, like, if I'm here and I do my work and I create other things, in my yard, and I keep my mind busy and then take a break from this and do something else and create, other type of things. Like I did few finish like base for sculptures with, let's say they're doing they destroy like a bridge or where on the highway where they throw away like the material like cement and things like that. So I took some of them and I create bases for sculptures with them, and then you can get addicted to any piece that you saw, like iron or whatever they throw away, and then you can see, it's something of value about them, So it doesn't. There's so many things around us that your mind can take and recycle things.
Yeah,
and
that's wonderful.
how
Yeah, you
put them.
recycle your palettes. Your
I know.
That's awesome.
My brushes also.
So the palettes, just a basic thing. You buy a nice thick glass, right? Because you want it to be.
Some of them were given to me by a friend after the hurricane they had at the Keys, and then they found so many pieces of glass like this and that, and she gave it to me, and then I use them as palette, and then I create this to them.
Where do you tend to buy most of your art supplies? From one same location art store?
Yes.
Which one do you go
I
to?
used to go to Pearls, but they're not here anymore.
Okay.
So I go to Blick. Not Blick.
Blick.
On US 1.
Yeah. It's
That's
a
where
cool
I go.
store.
It is. I like the guy. They are cool.
Yeah, they're all cool.
They're very helpful. It's great, but I know some artists, they start with acrylic and do the finish with oil.
I think I'm not too familiar. The only time I do paint with like paintbrush and stuff, I use acrylic because it's simple and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But oil, I think I might really enjoy oil because you can actually change, like you can put color and then work the color on the painting and it doesn't dry, right?
Right away. But I like them too. well, my routine, my training with acrylics, I can create whatever I feel very comfortable with acrylics.
You almost use them like if
Yeah.
it was oil.
Yeah, I can
right?
use it like watercolor. You would think it's aquarelle, like watercolor. Or you would think it's paint, it's oil, because I could work on them very thick and then
Yes.
glaze them. Acrylic is pretty cool.
So it's just all the experience you
Yeah.
have using them.
For a long time, yeah. And then you can create, I feel very comfortable with it. It doesn't, I feel like I have no limit. I can stretch it to a different dimension. You know what I mean? As far as what you want to create.
How many paintings do you think you've painted in your whole life?
Oh, I don't know.
1,000?
More
2,000?
more than 1,000.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. At one point, when I made the decision, that's what I want to do. I used to make 12 pieces. I used to sell 12 pieces, 5 by 8 or 8 by 10 for $100. And I tell you, it's been years ago. And even people like my generation and some other people are into painting and they are into decoration and whatever. They would fly. Everybody were ordering. Hey Bob, make me an order for 12 pieces for $100. It was great practice. Also, because they're all different, and then they don't look the same, and then you work faster, and then you're always busy. So it was a good practice for me.
That's awesome.
Which was great. And that's how I have a collection of small pieces, of small and large. But my thing is the large pieces that I work on is you can express yourself more, in stretching, and you have more space to play with, to express your idea than you restricted. So that's why the subject will be different from the large one to small one.
Yeah, and
like I did one mural in Mexico for a friend who has a home there, and I had to paint. He wanted me to do some work for her, and then on the patio, he has a big wall and the table and the bench, so I painted, everything for her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you ever done any work with mosaico? Like mosaic?
No, I never done any mosaic.
I'm very intrigued with mosaic.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's so, like it can stand the test of time. Like, because it's like rocks and grout, and you can still...
Do you have to bake them?
No. So you have a bunch of tile. Mm-hmm. You cut it all. Okay. You make a bunch of small triangles, squares, like a bunch of small shapes.
Okay.
And then you get like a big, huge piece of plywood.
Okay. Oh,
and then you put like a sticky surface. And then you drop all of the,
ceramic.
And then you lay grout.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. Like a mosaic painting.
Yes, mosaic. Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited to do that because it's so much working with your hands and cut. It's kind of
I do. Yeah, I enjoy doing things like that too. Not mosaic, but I like to create things.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who works with glass on canvas.
Glass on canvas.
Glass.
Huh?
Yeah, he has glass on the painting, like a mermaid. The tail would be like glass on, and he does a lot of work like that.
Let me show you here. This is my girlfriend's uncle.
Okay.
And so he puts those on like big wood surfaces.
Oh, this is mosaic?
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Let me show you a nice one he's doing. Yeah, like look at this.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's a big piece. That's a lot of work.
A lot of work. Yeah, so I would love to interpret my style with different mediums. So I think that's kind of what I'm experimenting with.
Okay. I did a lot of work on paper, newspaper. I paint on newspaper.
So when you paint on newspaper, will you put the newspaper on top of like
Canvas.
wood or canvas?
No, I put it on canvas.
And you seal it first?
And what I do, I could use like gesso and to glue them on the canvas.
Does it glue through? So you'll put the glue on the canvas and then you'll put the paper.
Paper, yeah.
And then you put another thing on top of the paper?
No, what I do, I put it there. Sometimes you do have to wet it a little bit to make sure there's no bubbles, there's nothing in between, under the paper and the glue and the primer. And you use a hair dryer and blow it.
Yeah,
dry it.
It's a cool trick. The blow dryer, right? You have a blow dryer?
Oh, I got two of them. And sometimes I use like you draw on it, like with black paint.
Mm-hmm.
I have a nice one that I sold to this gentleman. He used to have a bar on Biscayne Boulevard. On Brico, and I made. Some characters, guy like they were like gangsters or whatever that.
Okay.
And I call the painting tax collectors. And he said, I love tax collectors because he was a bad fellow. So he said, I hate tax collectors, but I love the painting. So he bought it for me. It was a nice piece. So I did a whole collection on newspapers. And then I would take the section that deals with a certain ideas, the news, and you print something related to that. You know what I mean? Like I would take whatever the column that talks about Wall Street and all this, and I print
something about money or whatever.
Exactly. It came out really nice. So.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, so I like to jump on things, different ideas and things like that.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued with the chairs. I think that's awesome. Furniture.
The idea came by painting a collection of chairs, and then I started moving to this, and a lot of them are gone, and these two are going to Canada.
Oh, you've sold them?
Two, yes. Somebody sold them on Facebook, and then I sent pictures to her, and then she came to Miami, and then we are in the process of.
Wonderful. So you'll mail them?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I went to UPS and I went to DHL, but there is another place where they will pack them and ship them to me. Ship them to her. So that's what I'm doing now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
I do all kind of furniture.
So you primarily just use Facebook then? That's kind of your
where
you'll do a little bit.
I haven't been on it for a long time. I just did it because I just want to show my work.
Yeah.
But I do not, as far as marketing concerned, I've been a little bit in the back.
But I mean, you're just creating and you're
right
comfortable.
Now my mind's into that. Yes.
You're not like in a position where you're like, oh, I need to sell.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't live out of from my work. Tell you the truth, But I do sell. But I do other things. I'll show you the yard, and I plant a lot of hot peppers.
Oh.
Yes.
Cool. So you like to garden?
Yes. And the thing is, I like spicy food. So I always have my hot pepper plant in my backyard. So,
and how big are the peppers?
They are habanero. They're pretty big.
They're pretty big? I have to check those out.
Yeah. And then I end up having so much pepper, so I created a hot sauce.
Oh, you have your own hot sauce?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, and
I'll have to buy one.
I'll give you one.
I'll give nice.
You one. And you love it. I'll show it to you.
Cool. What's the name of it?
I call it habanero heat wave.
Habanero heat wave?
Habanero, that's the pepper.
Yeah, habanero.
Heat wave.
Heat wave, wow.
Yeah.
What is it, a green?
No, it's red. And they have the yellow one, but I used to use the red one, but now I use both of them, the red and the yellow.
Nice. And so you sell these to like family and friends?
Friends, I don't go for promotion. Cool. I don't want to stress the volume.
The crazy, yeah.
No. There
That's
was
pretty
one,
cool.
One restaurant that got some for me, and then two friends. Like I have friends in Atlanta, in New York, in Canada. And
so you'll mail it?
I just mail it to them.
So you go to the post office a lot?
Yes, I do. They know me there. And then like the lady that I have a friend at the post office, when I go there, even for some bills I send by mail, And then he said, Robert, and I would stay in line, and I get to her and I said, 2 stamps. He said, Robert, why don't you get
The pack.
a pack, a book? I said, if I get the book, I won't see you again. So 2 stamps. I'll see you next
She loved
month.
it.
Yeah. You know, so because when you work at home, sometimes you need to get out.
Yes.
And you find an excuse. So going to the post office is a trip. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
of course.
And
of course.
things like that. I'll show you the bottles, because I use one of my painting as label for the.
So you print the labels with one of your paintings on it? Cool.
Yeah.
Do you do that all at home here? You
Yeah,
print it?
everything's here. Yeah, that's the factory.
And then you buy the glass bottles.
About everything.
Cool.
If you look by the wine
Okay.
rack, you'll see a small bottle there. It's like Uzi bottle of 5 ounces. You see one there?
Yeah. Oh. Wow. These are real.
Yeah.
It's like a real hot sauce thing
Yeah,
here.
there's a full one. Yeah.
Habanero heat wave.
Yeah. So
Awesome. And how much do you sell these for?
those goes for $7, which is good. It's different than if you take the aroma is different and
Nice. You have all the.
yeah, and there's
Info
no
here.
chemical. It's very good stuff. Yeah.
So how often does the pepper plant produce how?
Well, I go by whenever they.
I love spicy stuff.
Yeah,
too.
it's very good. I go with the flow. The plant gives whenever he wants. I mean, I don't even calculate when is the period, but I know when they're in flower, and then I see the pepper still coming, and then it's more of a therapy
How
to
cool.
have fun than anything else.
Yeah, awesome.
And so all those things put you in balance as far as your work and.
Do you
other
also
things.
exercise?
Yeah, I go to the gym 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
a
Do
week.
some strength training, some machines, a little
The
running.
machine, and I ride my bicycle, and
Cool.
I'm 70 years old. I have to keep moving. It's no joke.
You don't
But-
look a day over 55.
Yeah. But thanks God, I never had any operation and sick and nothing. When I go
Good.
for my checkup at my doctor said, Robert, please you come here and waste my time. Go home. Things like that. It was just a good feeling.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a pretty healthy diet also?
Oh
in
yeah,
terms of-
I've been cooking myself for years.
Yeah, don't eat any of the junk out there.
No. I cooked. I'm doing my own cooking, and
Just try not to bump the table.
Oh yeah, and I take charge of my life, and it's just a lifestyle. That's the way I live.
Yeah.
I cook and I eat what is right for me, and stay positive. I don't keep alcohol. The other day, my son were coming with friends, so we bought a bottle of wine for them for that event. But I don't keep alcohol here.
Yeah.
Because at work, I think it would be a bad combination. To be at home and there's booze there.
Yeah.
24 hours a day, and then that's how some of us end up.
Creating bad habits.
To create, they have to have a shot. And when you create something and
then you
they're
get
happy,
dependent.
yeah, And if you're happy about something, you say, well, I'll get a shot, and things like that. So can happen. But it's good to be healthy mentally and physically.
Yeah.
That's your phone, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. Well, I think
We got it done.
yeah, we got most everything ready to go here. We got a good conversation with Robert Sylvain. How do you pronounce that?
Sylvain.
Sylvain.
Yeah,
Sylvain.
Yeah.
You have a remarkable story, remarkable work. I love it. You have an awesome house here. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Oh, that's a pleasure.
And maybe we can do an episode at my house next month. You
Sure.
can come see our
I
studio,
would
all of my dad's work.
I would like that. I would like to meet him because it's
cool.
always help.
Yeah, you guys, and there's some slight similarities in some of the work. I see it.
His work the one, I think 2 or 3 pieces, but the black and white one that was the one that caught my eyes.
Yeah, cool.
You know?
Cool.
And I'll be glad to meet him too.
Yeah, you didn't see him that day, right? He was coming.
No, you had another friend with you.
Yeah, Carlos. Yeah, the guy who's helping with the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks for everyone listening. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. If you have any feedback, let us know. Also, if you know any artists or anyone who is in photography, curating, galleries, anyone creative at all, let us know. We'd love to have them on the podcast. And yeah, everyone have a wonderful day. We'll see you. Thanks again for doing this.
My pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Nice meeting you too.
Of course.
Okay.